Hey guys, how's it going? Preparing here. So today they announced that they're going to change two cards in Hearthstone, and they're two cards that I don't really interact with that much because, well, I play Arena. But whenever I go to Berlin to do the ESGN Fight Night casting, there seems to be a lot of discussion about it. And in the last one, there was quite a lot. And I want to bring that to you guys just so you guys know what players think and why these cards have been nerfed slash changed. So the two cards I'm talking about are Tinkmaster Overspark and Nat Pagel. Now, Tinkmaster Overspark is one of the cards that I would like to believe, maybe falsely so, that I was one of the first to innovate. I had this in my Fat Pally deck like ages ago, and I was the first to put it in one of my decks in the first ESGN Fight Night, and on the second day, it was in like every deck, and then right after that, everyone was using it on ladder, in my opinion, because a lot of the people that were there, kind of show people what's good. So I claim this card. I feel I show people that it's really, really good. And, I'm pretty happy to see that it was essentially nerfed. They changed it so Tinkmaster himself, instead of being a 2/2, is now a 3/3, which is actually a huge deal. But the effect, which is the main reason that people had him in the deck at all, is nerfed. Instead of selecting the target that you want to turn into a 1/1 or 5/5 given by chance, another random element is added into the equation in which it chooses the creature that it targets randomly. You no longer get to select one. So yeah, it's pretty cool. It still kind of works if there's nothing on the board and your opponent plays a Ysera, which is usually how you play Ysera, then bam, you can tinker Ysera still. You can still do that kind of stuff. But it's probably not going to be used to that extent anymore. In fact, it's probably going to be gone altogether from Constructed, which is a little bit sad, but some people are pretty happy about the change. The other change that's being made is the Nat Pagel. Nat Pagel still has the same mechanic where each turn you have a 50% chance to draw a card, but the trigger has been changed from at the end of the turn to the start of the turn. And because you can't play stuff before you started your turn, the turn in which he's played is now gone from the chance to draw a card. So you have one chance fewer to draw a card than before. And, well, that makes him a lot worse because often he'd draw one, maybe two cards, and now he might draw, no cards or maybe one card. So, it's pretty marginal now. I think we won't see the end of Nat Pagel, but we certainly will see the end of the dominance of the Pagelizers. So that's pretty cool. And I want to tell you guys the opinion of the, fairly high-profile constructed players in Hearthstone, what they think of this card, what they think of the other cards. In general, they really hate these random elements because some of the control battles in the high-level play, you'd see Pagel versus Pagel, and one side would draw like 4 or 5 cards, the other would draw none. And that would dictate the game because, card advantage in the control matchups is a really big deal. And it's one that's purely given by chance. And with a lot of the decks being finely tuned and, being really pushed to the limits, when it comes to Tinkmaster, getting that 1/1 squirrel on your opponent rather than giving him a 5/5 dino is game-changing. And you can see it. You can reflect on the match, why you won, why you lost. Often it pinpoints to this exact random element to it. And it kind of sucks for competitive play. And that's why at the last ESGN Fight Night, there was serious discussion. It was actually voted upon that people would ban Nat Pagel for the tournament. And I think there was some discussion about Tinkmaster, but obviously they see Nat Pagel as the bigger danger. And, because that didn't pass the vote, none of them were banned. So, no extremes were taken, but it was almost to the point where they were. The vote, I believe, was 4-4. So it was a tie vote, and in the event of a tie vote, they decided that it'd be better to maintain the current rules rather than to push to an extreme, which I think is the correct decision. But all in all, people hate the Pagel, and I can kind of understand that. Hearthstone is not really a competitive game. I mean, it's really fun to see, and it's really fun to play. It's great to win, sucks to lose, but it's not the type of game that is viciously competitive. It's just like fun competitive. So the random elements, they're there. It's a card game. And as such, I didn't feel it was too big of a deal, but I can understand from the perspective of at least these type of tournaments that when you win, you want to be considered the better player. You don't want to win a game where you make several mistakes and you have maybe a worse deck, but you win because, Pagel drew you like 5 cards. You don't want to win because, Tink Master ended up in your favor. You want to win because, of the more controlling elements of the fact that you maybe build a better deck, the fact that maybe you could guess their plays better than the opponent can, and the elements that really define what skill is actually in Hearthstone. And with this in mind, I think Blizzard made a really good decision here to nerf this stuff, despite, the way that I play Hearthstone. I like to see the lulls, I like to see the crazy random elements, because these are the most memorable ones. And yeah, when everyone plays the cards, it's maybe not so memorable, so I can't really fault the change either. So good stuff from Blizzard. I hope we'd be seeing, maybe the final patch before the release. I want to start grinding for those foil portraits that I've been gunning for some time, and maybe sometime after that I'll end up getting them. So we'll see. Lots of cool stuff to come. Hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.